Alright, everyone, so you're probably all wondering why I'm wearing this ridiculous outfit. And to be honest, I got a lot of weird looks walking to class this morning, and I had, funnily enough, an agricultural and extension education class right before I came here. I walked right in, and my professor, who knows what all this means, looked at me and he's like, "Amber, that's a nice outfit. Why are you wearing your official dress?" So I had to explain to him that I was coming here to give my TED Talk, which leads me to another incident of whenever someone gave me weird looks because I was wearing my FFA official dress. So a couple years ago, back when I was in high school, I was going to a local public speaking competition with my FFA chapter. And after the competition was over, it was around lunchtime, so we went to Wendy's in Harrisburg, and we got our food. We were sitting down getting ready to eat, and there were these two elderly women who were getting ready to leave Wendy's, and they glanced over at us, and they had very strange facial expressions, and the one woman looked to the other one and whispered to her, kind of loudly, "How are they supposed to farm in those crazy outfits?" And this is one of the many misconceptions that occurs in the agriculture industry. There are many people who aren't involved in agriculture who just don't know what's going on. This misconception was twofold, actually. One, because she thought that people actually farmed in this attire. And secondly, because she assumed that everyone who is an FFA member was either a farmer or planned on being a farmer, which is no longer the case. FFA and the agriculture industry has changed much over the years. Agriculture has changed from being the norm. Back in the day, everyone was a farmer for the most part, and everyone had a basic understanding of where their food came from and what happened with agriculture. Now the sad reality is that less than 2% of the US population is directly involved in agriculture. And on average, most of the population is at least 3 generations removed from the agriculture industry. So given these statistics, there's a lot of room for average everyday consumers to have misconceptions about the agriculture industry. And this is a major problem. Some of you may be thinking, why? Well, agriculture affects everybody. That 2% of the United States population that is working in agriculture affects 100% of the population, whether it involves your food, your clothing, your shelter, what have you. So having misconceptions can be a major issue. There are many companies out there, such as Panera Bread, organizations like People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and individuals who have a lot of influence in society who are spreading negative and maybe even false messages about agriculture, and consumers believe them because these are important people, these are people on TV, politicians, who have influence in society. Why shouldn't we believe them? And farmers, because they aren't as out there as much, their message isn't being heard. That's a major problem because consumers don't know what's going on, and these people are affecting legislation, which affects the farmers, which in turn affects the consumers and the products that they get. So, in summary, we need to come up with a way to get consumers to know what's going on so they can make educated decisions, and that the people who are in charge of creating legislation and spreading ideas can be literate in the agriculture industry know-how. So how do we do this? I'd like to introduce to you a fairly new idea. It's not my own idea, but it is something that is becoming more and more prominent nowadays, and it's called vocating, which basically is advocating agriculture, what it sounds like. So I have 3 tips for you guys of how you can become advocates. First one is to learn a little bit of something about the agriculture industry, which you can do that by speaking to people who are directly involved, doing a little bit of your own research, stuff like that, just to make sure that you are an educated consumer and you know what's going on. Secondly, don't believe everything that you see. There is a lot of propaganda that is out there, whether it's agricultural related or not. So you need to be able to figure out what people are saying, that what is being said that is true and what is being said that may be biased towards a certain group or belief. A lot of that comes from animal rights groups such as PETA, but there are other organizations and companies out there trying to twist people's ideas. And third, be willing to share your ideas with other people. Being an educated consumer yourself is not enough, because there are going to be plenty of other people who don't know what's going on. So you have to be willing to share your story with others. You don't have to be from a farming background to be an advocate of agriculture. I obviously am, but there are plenty of you who are not. You could be from the middle of New York City and still express your knowledge of agriculture. And you don't have to go and give a major presentation or anything like I'm doing right now. It could just be a casual conversation with somebody. If they mention something about the agriculture industry and you know that what they're saying isn't quite what reality is, say something to them. Help them know what's actually going on. So these are some things that you guys can do to become better citizens yourselves and to help others become better citizens and improve the agriculture industry as a whole. So I'd like to end with a quote by E.M. Tiffany from the FFA Creed, which starts out, "I believe in the future of agriculture." I truly believe in the future of agriculture, and I also believe that by getting more people to help spread the message of agriculture, that we can make that future even brighter than what it already is.